Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. Here's what we have in the bulletin. 3 dead in St. James following a police operation. Falmouth's mayor talks tough ahead of Grand Market celebration. And in sports, West Indies lose second ODI match against India. Thanks for joining us. I'm Sandy Williams. Here are the details. We begin with a developing story. A man who the police believe was involved in the murder of a TikToker in St. James was among 3 people fatally shot during an early morning operation in a community known as Orange District in the parish. The police reportedly came under heavy gunfire while carrying out the operation around 6 o'clock. 3 firearms were recovered. Now we'll have more details in subsequent newscasts. Be forewarned or face the consequences. The notice this afternoon from Chairman of the Trelawney Municipal Corporation, Colin Gager. It comes as hundreds of patrons and vendors get set to venture to the town of Falmouth for the annual Grand Market celebrations later today. O'Shane Masters reports.
It's one of the busiest days for municipal corporations island-wide and health inspectors. The eve of Christmas, more popularly known in Jamaica as Grand Market, a time when children will flock the streets and vendors come out in all their glory. But for Falmouth, it will not be business as usual. Chairman of the Trelawney Municipal Corporation and Mayor of Falmouth, Colin Gager, says adjustments have been made to address the influx of patrons and vendors.
Our Grand Market will be down by the municipal market. Bend down market, that's where we'll have the Grand Market. We are not giving any permission for extra sales within the town or the town center. We want everybody to be down by the market. We have put in, as you can see, we have prepared extra land for parking, and we are doing some filling out and some patching out of holes that has existed over a period of time down there.
Mr. Gager says that was in a bid to free up the streets for vehicular and pedestrian traffic. However,
we also have problems with some of the vendors who won't abide by the rules and regulation, and that's one of the biggest concerns. And as you would see too, some of them decide that they will disobey the rules and place their stalls anywhere.
He says the municipal corporation has partnered with the police in the parish, which will take action against those vendors caught selling in the town during the festive period. He also notes that specialized operatives from the municipal corporation will also be out tonight to enforce the rules. The municipal corporation chairman says this decision was taken this year in a bid to alleviate the cost the corporation is left with after the festivities to clean the drains and the town center, which are littered with food scraps and other items. Additionally, Mr. Gager says adequate parking is being sorted out for the motoring public. However, it will be monitored through a ticketing system. He says if the tickets are lost, then verification of ownership of the vehicle will be done through the JCF before being able to leave the parking area. O'Shane Masters, TVJ News.
The authorities in Ocho Rios have come up with a plan to fix some of the issues relating to garbage collection and disposal in the tourist town. The new strategies come just in time for the winter tourist season. Prince Moore has the details.
Garbage being collected in Ocho Rios St. Anne as part of a cleanup by civic and business groups. It's also a reminder that too many Jamaicans continue to dispose of solid waste improperly. Business leaders in Ocho Rios, while encouraging persons not to litter, have taken matters into their own hands to keep the tourist town clean at all times.
We've just committed to putting a compactor, as we have in the hotels, in by the town square, so that people can come and dump their garbage inside there, rather than just putting them in these little bins. And even when they're in the bins, what we're going to be doing, businesses will be sponsoring. Like I just spoke with the owner of Mongoose Restaurant right in front of my hotel, and a couple of us gonna be sponsoring one man. All that one man will do is to walk from the clock all the way down to Scotia, and they will pick up and they will bag, and then the municipal authority will pick it up.
Those measures form part of a wider plan to change the way waste is disposed and collected in the tourist town.
JBM has donated a piece of land at the back of Mystic Mountain, and we're going to set up a recycling plant up there, and we will have a compactor up there as well. So as we clear these little bins, we have a site up there we can put it, and then all our plastic, all the plastic bottles, everything will go into recycle up there, the cardboard and everything. And it's an economic activity.
The business leader, in the meantime, expressed appreciation to the operators of Reynolds Pier, Jamaica Bauxite Mining, to allow the area to be used as a docking site for cruise vessels on an interim basis. The pier is located just across from the Ocho Rios Pier, which is currently out of commission following a crash. Reynolds Pier is an industrial facility, so work is being done to make the area more appealing for tourists.
So that when the passengers come in, they can have a more scenic view coming out. It doesn't feel like manufacturing is taking place one side and we have tourism the other side. But they're working on that. I think all of Ocho Rios, in terms of craft, in terms of jewelry, will benefit from that, because as we take in more ships there until the main cruise ship pier is fixed, it's just the only alternative we have. We have to keep it in Jamaica. We want to keep it in Ocho Rios. So I think it's a really good thing that they're doing down there.
Repairs to the damaged Ocho Rios Pier are scheduled to be completed by July 2025. Prince Moore, TVJ News.
The government is again under fire, this time from the mayor of Lucy, Sheridan Samuels, who says he is frustrated with the deplorable road conditions in the parish. The mayor says his administration is being blamed for the traffic situation, which is as a result of the road at the seawall. He is, however, insisting that the road does not fall under the Hanover Municipal Corporation. Kimberly Petty reports.
For years, residents have been complaining about the traffic situation in Hanover. The deplorable state of the road has added to their misery. Lucy Mayor Sheridan Samuels wants the issue fixed.
You know that there are some concerns, major concerns, as it relates to the traffic situation within the town itself. And we have been blamed for certain aspect of it. The main reason for the traffic congestion is really the road at Seawall.
Mr. Samuels says that particular road is a major cause for concern.
It is not the direct responsibility of the Hanover Municipal Corporation. The roadway falls under is an A1 road. It falls under NWA. And what we have done over time is to do some work where we can possibly do it as it relates to the roadway itself.
He also pointed to the Lucy bypass, which would take motorists into the resort town of Negril. He says work is yet to continue on it.
The estimates were sent to Kingston. We don't hear anything at all about it. These requests were not made by us. It was made by the ministry. The chief engineering officer at the ministry came down. Before the election, some visits were made to different areas. And to date, these roads are in such a bad condition.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Andrew Holness, while addressing patrons at the opening of the Princess Hotels and Resorts in Green Island, Hanover last week, says his administration will be focusing on fixing the infrastructure in Lucy as it relates to the bypass.
We have already started the plans. We already have the alignment for the bypass, and in the next budget we will be making allocations to begin. When I speak this way, I am not making a promise. I don't. I make commitments.
Kimberly Petty for TVJ News.
how service and connection can light up an entire community. To the story now of how the Police Youth Club in St. Catherine is doing just that. A joyful Vindel Campbell. The Christmas holiday promises to be one to remember. Brimming with gratitude, Miss Campbell is among the recipients of Christmas care packages distributed by the Police Youth Club in St. Catherine.
Oh my God, I feel it very good. And thank you very much all. Let me come and help me have something. I thank God for it. Because you know what's good, we got it. But give that thanks and thankfully.
Her sentiment is shared by other residents too.
We feel good and it's so we're supposed to live.
Packages aside, the presence of the police in the community is a heartwarming feeling for Winsome Smith.
When I saw the police them around, I feel so good because what going really taking place, you're a bit afraid. But when you see the police them, you feel good because they are here to guide us, protect us.
The Police Youth Club's outreach efforts have sparked a wave of positivity among residents. One such advocate of the club's work is Davoy Burton, whose holiday wish isn't for himself, but for the community's youth.
I would love for persons to join the youth club because, as I said before, it not only bridges the gap between the young people and the police officers, but it develops one holistically and personally. And my confidence, my love for public speaking started here at the Police Youth Club movement, and that aided me to enter the field of studying journalism.
As Christmas Eve turns to Christmas Day, the efforts of the Police Youth Club stand as a shining example of how service and connection can light up an entire community. It's now time for a break, but stay with us. We have more local stories when we return. Welcome back to the Midday News and thanks for staying with us. It's a messy situation for residents in Keasley Avenue in Bridgeport, St. Catherine. This, as a broken sewage pipe in the community for the past 3 months has not been rectified by the requisite agency. Nakinski Robinson tells us more.
This hole in the road is the source of the problem for residents of Keasley Avenue in Portmore. The breakaway, it's understood, damaged a sewer line which was under the roadway. Now, it has left a heavy stench which has forced some residents to flee the area until the matter is addressed by the National Water Commission. One resident who spoke with our news team said the breakaway happened in October, and since then, residents have not been able to flush their toilets. He said despite inspections of the damage by the NWC, nothing substantial has been done to offer relief. Mr. Winter says the Christmas spirit has been dampened.
Well, it's really bad. It's really bad. Because anytime the sun come up, nobody can eat in the yard. Because it stinks. Before anything go on, everything did all right. Till one day you see just broke out and I eat that from that time. The man them come and look, the water now, them flush it out, but them say them can't flush it out through this. Them say this. And them say them a come back, but them don't come back.
Councillor for the division, Kenneth Grant, says despite representation to the NWC, nothing has been done.
I'm at a point where I'm actually provoked to get national attention, to have them respond in a more urgent manner. No, the last conversation I had with them is that they have completed the procurement process. Then why haven't the work started?
Nakinski Robinson, TVJ News.
To the story now about how a St. Andrew family is desperately trying to save Christmas for another family following a mix-up with grocery delivery. The 2 boxes of groceries were delivered 2 days ago to the wrong address on Mayfield Drive in St. Andrew by a motor vehicle, and the correct owner has not come to retrieve them since. The boxes include meat and other food items. The Mayfield Drive family is worried Christmas could be cancelled for the right owner, as the items appear to have been bought partly for holiday meals. Anyone familiar with this situation is asked to call 876-459-9064 so that arrangements can be made to get the food back to the owner. And now it's time for the Business Minute. Here's O'Shane Masters.
The net profits of the NCB Financial Group have been revised downwards by 1.7 billion to 21.6 billion by its auditors, PricewaterhouseCoopers, PwC. This was mainly due to a re-evaluation of the long-term insurance contracts held by its subsidiary Guardian Holdings under international financial reporting standards. These standards require companies to standardize the treatment of funds flowing from customer contracts internationally. Prior to this, companies had the flexibility to determine how to stagger the flow of funds, which made it difficult to compare similar contracts. Further afield, Brazilian authorities have altered the construction of a factory for Chinese electric vehicle EV giant BYD, saying workers lived in conditions comparable to slavery. More than 160 workers have been rescued in Brazil's northeastern state of Bahia, according to a statement from the Public Labor Prosecutor's Office. They were allegedly put in a degrading environment and had their passports and salaries withheld by a building company. BYD said in a statement that it had cut ties with the firm involved and remained committed to full compliance with Brazilian legislation. BYD said affected workers had been moved to hotels. The factory was scheduled to be operational by March 2025 and was said to be BYD's first EV plant outside of Asia. For the Business Minute, I'm O'Shane Masters.
And now here's our top regional and international stories.
A man wanted in New York for drug-related murder charges, attempted robbery and weapons possession has been extradited to the United States from Trinidad. The man, Anthony Regis Ash, faces a possible sentence of life in prison after being charged in the state of New York in September 2022. A warrant of arrest was issued for him in October 2022 for 2 counts of second-degree murder, 2 counts of attempted robbery, and 2 counts of criminal possession of a weapon. Regis Ash fled the United States to Trinidad and Tobago in June 2021 before he could be charged. After U.S. law enforcement authorities requested the extradition for Regis Ash in July 2024, a local arrest warrant was issued by the government of Trinidad and Tobago, and he was arrested in the Cunapia area of Trinidad on October 9. On the international scene, a Florida federal judge has delayed the trial for the man accused of a second assassination attempt on President-elect Donald Trump. According to court documents, Ryan Wesley Ruth will now go on trial on September 8 next year, nearly a year to the day of the assassination attempt. The trial was scheduled to start on February 10. In asking for the delay, Ruth's attorneys had cited the large amount of evidence in the case. And 1 person has died and multiple people are injured after 2 boats erupted in flames in South Florida Monday night. Fort Lauderdale Fire Rescue said they received numerous calls reporting an explosion and a boat on fire. The flames spread to a second vessel. Officials said the dock is known as a refueling station. 5 victims, 3 of which had traumatic injuries, were transported to local hospitals. Dive crews found 1 man dead in the water. His identity has not been released. An investigation into what caused the fire is underway. And that's it for the top regional and international stories. I'm O'Shane Masters.
We head to a quick break, but when we come back, we'll have your midday sports report.